Welcome everybody. No, just kidding. You know when I saw
you're live now?
Nah, yeah, we.
Oh shit.
So we've been live, dude.
We've been live.
Alright, episode 20, the big 2-0.
2-0. It's been 20 episodes.
You guys been hearing us just talk about random stuff. You seen us cry. You seen us laugh.
They seen you cry.
You seen everything. But just want to let you know. Thank you for staying tuned, always caring about us, making sure we're okay. No one's really asking all that.
Like, no one really...
But
I'm not even asking you if you're okay.
But, no, first of all, the person that said I'm not into sports, I didn't know Bill Russell. I do know Bill Russell. It's just a foggy brain, all right? So hopefully you see this.
So once you don't know sports?
Yeah, dude. They're like, oh, you don't know sports. How do you not know like that Bill Russell had 11 rings? And I'm like, I know who Bill Russell was. I just couldn't think it at the moment.
Dude, that's funny, though, because this guy doesn't know sports. That guy called you out straight up. He's not lying either, bro. No
I know
cap.
football.
He doesn't know sports, bro. He didn't know Bill Russell until that episode.
Oh.
And he didn't know Bill Russell, obviously.
But, so don't worry about us. Don't worry about mind your own business.
Dude, good call, guy. I must have missed that. Good job, Bill.
Anyways, but yeah, episode 20. I can't believe
episode 20. We would have been live like fucking like 30 minutes ago. Like, this guy's been trying to set up a new camera he got.
Hey, I want my boy to be in 4K. You know, I want you guys to catch him in 4K.
Got caught in 4K.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was gonna say real quick before I got interrupted. You made me lose my.
Yeah, man. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, oh yeah, we finally hit 100 and plus listeners. It wouldn't be possible without y'all. Also, wouldn't be possible without CeeLo's over here dropping some truth.
You're welcome. Nah, just kidding. No.
But
I think I mean, honestly, thanks to everyone that's listening. 100 people. That's a lot.
It's this many.
It's like this 10. Did you catch it? That's more than the friends I have.
Yeah.
Nah.
You start crying. You're like,
and I think I broke my record after one listener because that's so many.
Yeah, dude. And then we're going. Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's cool though because I think even when we hit 50 and when we hit 100, I think it's pretty cool, dude. Because even in high school and through social media, bro, I don't even think I have like 50 plus friends.
Yeah. Don't.
So the fact that 100 people actually listen to what I said, even though it's funny or dumb shit or doesn't make sense, but 100 people have heard my voice. And it probably is sexy to them, but...
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, I mean, when you hit those milestones for us, it's 100, 50, 100, and so on. But I think it's pretty awesome, to get those and to hit that mark after putting in the work, and growing within that.
Grinding, bro. Staying up all night thinking of what to say, dude. Thinking of topics. But it's hard work, man.
No, I think, and honestly, I think we're gonna do things a bit different. I feel like we're gonna be kind of narrowing down the specific topics that we want to talk about and share. I feel like the last episode when we talked about supporting each other and not letting other people down and all this other stuff that we said on there, that it's been a minute, so I probably forgot. But no, I think it's gonna be good, this episode here.
Yeah, I think it's great, dude. I mean, yeah, dude, like I said, we're going back, but yeah, to the listeners, and shout out to C. for setting us up with this tech, even though he takes forever to set it up, but can't be here without you.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, but honestly, I want to say thank you for allowing me to, for honestly believing in this, Maybe you still don't
No,
believe
bro.
it, but...
Thank you.
But like if you saying yes to us recording this, it's pretty awesome.
Well, I think it takes them both part, right? I think, with you taking part of your day, right? And then whatever, taking part of my day. But sitting down and actually doing it, right? Because I think there's a lot of podcasts out there and there's a lot of people doing podcasts, right?
Yeah.
But some people just think about it but don't follow through with it. Or they do follow through with it. Then they just stop doing it because, they don't listen, they don't have the followers or the listeners. But even if we don't have listeners, we still do it just because it's something that we do. I mean, both you and I like to talk shit, and every time we usually sit down together, we usually talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
But now we do it to share with the world. And now that, we get listeners from it, cool. But I mean, we'll continue to keep pumping content, even if it's like 1 or 2 episodes every
year. I'm just kidding.
every year.
No,
but I think, it's cool. I mean, we like doing this, and we've tried to find time to do it.
Yeah.
So, appreciate you being here, coming here, and look forward to the many more episodes we could pump out here.
Yeah. And then please stay tuned. We're probably going to get the merch probably like the end of this year with the way.
Bro, I canceled the merch.
You canceled? You were getting too much high demand. You're like, nah, I can't.
Yeah, dude. We're oversold, bro.
You did, what do you call it when you do a pre-release?
Pre-release guy.
You took everyone's money and then
it was like, I'm just going to send a plain white t-shirt with nothing on it.
It's not even the good ones with cheap.
There's
you
a
can
cheap...
see through, like they put it on, you can see their nipples and shit.
It's that Hanes quality shirt.
We're the one that has a tag all the way sticking out, just all folded and stuff, dude.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, dude. But no, this is serious podcast. This is serious.
This is serious.
I want to talk about and I'll I shared it with Silos here about there's a podcast where Oscar de la Hoya, and I don't know how many
Golden
Boy,
like him,
but the Golden Boy, he was pretty much, I think he was crying and just kind of sharing his thoughts about well, not really, but his experience with his parents. He's pretty much said that no one, like his parents, never really told him they loved him and that they were proud of him, and so he kind of had to go and tell their parents that he loved them and that he, thanks for the way, for everything, So the reason I bring this up is I feel like us, in our culture, I don't know how it was for you. Did your parents ever tell you they love you?
Yeah, mom and dad? I mean, both parents, they do. My mom and dad, tell me that they love me.
But like growing up, or just like growing up, they told you they.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I can remember, I've always my dad had always told me that he loves me. My mom has always told me that she loves me. To this day, they still tell me that they love me, and then, dude, to this day, the affection that I get from both, they still kiss me, and I still kiss them.
Well, aren't you special?
Yeah,
I'm gonna end it there.
So let's just cut the episode. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what
Oscar de la Hoya is talking about. But
y'all don't have that.
I thought everybody was loved by their parents, man. No, but no, I know. Everybody has different upbringings. Shit, some people even grow up without parents, But
yeah. Damn.
But
this guy's special, y'all.
I was just thinking of the other shit.
No, just say it. It's pretty, dude. It's explicit. You already know. Say it. Say what you mean. And say it with your chest, bro.
Nah, man. It's funny, which, how we were talking about. I mean, listen to the previous episodes. Just like how we were talking about those those jokes, bro. I forgot the name of it. Fuck.
Dark jokes? Those dark humor jokes?
Dark humor jokes, yeah. We were just talking about orphanage and people without parents, yeah. You know what I mean, but... Ooh, it just died.
Dude, what do you mean it died?
Dude, you said you spent like $5,000 on that camera. Did it die or is it just...
What the heck? Man, this is what I'm talking about, bro. One second.
We got some tech difficulties. Damn, bro.
Anyways, so what were we saying, dude? I think we're saying that you're loved and no one else is loved, and you start talking about dark humor with those
Well, I was just bringing that up just because by me saying that, just triggered that. But yeah, I mean, everyone comes up differently. I understand that. I'm not saying that my life was better than others, but
yeah, I think
I got it from both parents. I mean, I didn't have an issue. Now, people that like I come from my parents, eventually being divorced, and obviously I take that some other people don't.
So in a way, God had to even it out.
Yeah.
Is that too much dark humor?
I'm trying to hear. Is that? I was just waiting for you to plug that in.
All right.
Cool. No.
Yeah.
Now we back.
We're back.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, what I was fucking saying. God damn it.
Yeah. So you experienced it, but then also your parents got divorced.
Yeah. So I mean, I experienced it myself. And then eventually had, parents split up, and now I don't see my dad as often as my mom. So I mean, I have that. But yeah, like I think people have different upbringings. Like Oscar de la Hoya, where he came from, like he didn't have his parents ever tell him that he loved him, but look what he did with his life,
Yeah. Just like what you take with it. I mean, maybe he used that towards like, I'm gonna make them happy, maybe.
Probably, but I mean, it just comes down to like, I think you shouldn't make any excuses for it. If your parents didn't tell you "I love you," obviously you know if your parents love you, right? You could tell.
Yeah, I mean, well, so for me, for example, I don't think I still have heard my dad say "I love you," but
do you question like, hey, does my dad love me? Or you have
really.
the feeling that he does, he just hasn't told you.
Yeah, I guess. But I also see. I remember having this conversation, and I feel like it's because, him talking about his upbringing and how he pretty much was really never loved either. So I feel like that kind of like continues on. So it's like, oh, I wasn't shown any affection when I was a little kid. So why show it to me or.
But I mean, but you look at it differently now, right? Because now you as a father, you probably tell your daughter you love her.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I do. I mean, I say it all the time, like, hey, I love you, in case, I don't know, for some reason I feel like maybe she hasn't heard it enough, or just because I feel like, oh man, well, my dad really never told me, so I just have to remember.
Yeah, I mean, you don't use it as a reason, like, for not, telling your daughter I love you. You just say like, oh, my dad never told me he loved me, or my grandpa never told him he loved him, so I understand. But you made the difference.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, no, I'm not going to bring that to my daughter or to my kids. I'm going to make sure they know that I love them. Mm-hmm. Even if it's telling them every day, once a week, but you're telling that to your kids. So I think as a person, it just comes down to what you let influence your life.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't just sit here and be like, oh, my parents never told me they love me, so I'm going to be a shitty person.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to, I mean, just be happy with how you upbringing, right?
Yeah.
That's all we could really do now. I mean, we can't sit and complain about it because it already happened. As much as we want something different, we can't have it,
Yeah.
So you learn from that, and then you decide what you want to take with your kids, and then what you don't.
Yeah, and I agree totally with that about kind of, for me, I guess because where I'm at now and the things that I've done and like homes and and everything, I feel like I did it just to get my parents like not approvable. What's that, like, for them to be like, oh, like support, and also like, oh, you're doing great and all that, and then to just not even hear that, I'm like, that does. But then some, like, I tell myself I shouldn't just be down about that. I should still be happy and and be proud that I still did what I did, And then even it comes down to like situation. If my brother, when they tell, oh, we're so happy he's doing this with his life, or he's doing better than he was doing before, I feel like, yeah, that's good, But also I'm like, sometimes like, well, maybe I had to not do well in the beginning to, get more appreciation. But I don't know. It's just kind of things that I think about. But I guess everyone's different, and maybe everyone's, there's some people out there that feel the same way as I do, and there's people like you that feel this, that like just like you that feel the same way.
Yeah, and I mean, there's probably people that have it worse, Like I said, people that like, don't even grow up with parents.
Like orphans.
Oh, man. I don't know why that makes me laugh.
Damn, bro. You can't even take it serious. He just started laughing. Damn.
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
At least
you have to edit that or cut that, bro, because that makes me look like a horrible person. But
put a filter with like those crying ones, like that filter. Yeah. At least right now you're not being caught in 4K. It's 1080p, so they won't probably see a tear coming down.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but
damn, bro.
No, I'm not a horrible person, bro. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but
well, you're the one that said those dark jokes that one time, and it's on record.
Dude, you made me, bro.
I didn't say, hey, let's talk about orphans.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, orphan jokes because I have a family is what he'll search. It's like that.
Oh no. Yeah, but yeah, dude. There's people that grow up. I can't even go through this conversation.
Even Googled, "Are you born an orphan?"
Oh, damn.
Dude, how we go from like a sad, like not even sad, but like sad for me, but and then all of a sudden you just make it into something like messed up, bro.
At least you're not an orphan.
I know, right? Like at least I have a home. Wow, bro, it's fucked up, dude.
Bro, that's fucked up. So, that's fucked up, dude.
People are gonna be crying and stuff listening to like the beginning of it. No, people are gonna be proud at the beginning. Oh man, these are people like that. They're like over here like clapping for us, and they get sad. And they're like, man, these guys are fucked up.
Yeah, these fucking dicks. Nah, but yeah, like I said, like going back. Oh man. Yeah, but just people without parents. That's
there
how
you
I say it. People without parents. They could have it worse, They never had that.
They never had. Never had what? Can you reiterate that?
Dude, you're not making this any easier, bro. Oh man, I don't know why that's fucking. All right, dude.
So what's up?
You just cut it and we'll start from the beginning.
No, actually, we're just gonna leave it raw and like that.
Just like cut it and. There you go. But yeah, they're like going back, trying to not laugh. But
dude, you've been going back.
I know, but it's because it's just. I'm hoping you freaking edit this. But just like talking about it, like I said, they have it worse, right? They don't have them people tell them that they love them.
You're so fucked up. The people. It's like
I'm trying to be serious over here.
It's like when you talk to like about another race, like you people. It's like, what do you mean, you people? Oh, dude. And if we keep going back, we're gonna be in the beginning of the episode, bro. Fuck.
We should go back. Just start it fresh.
This didn't exist.
Stop laughing, bro. That's messed up. That was serious. That was very serious. But they don't have that. So, you growing up that way, and you even said it like you trying to maybe find that your parents tell you, hey, I'm proud of you. Or just get those words, not necessarily words of approval like you were saying, but just that, and you realize that you shouldn't be looking, that shouldn't be the reason why you're doing things or why it should bring you down.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand that not everyone has that you know. And some people do, you know. Some people they're try to please their parents, right? Doing what they, you know, tell them to do so they could get that appreciation. But I just feel like you every day is you love your parents no matter what. And if they don't tell you they love you, just like Oscar de la Hoya said, it's like I went up to him and told him that I love him, you know? And as much as we have love for them, I understand that we got to respect and understand, like, you know, through life, their advice and everything that they give you. But now that you're an adult, like, you realize that hey, that doesn't really...
Yeah.
That doesn't define me as who I am. Because you could be a shitty-ass person and then you could just blame it on that. Like, oh, my parents never told me they love me.
No, I guess.
So I'm gonna be a piece of shit person and just... And going back, even though we talk shit, but, like, you know, people without parents, they make a difference in their life, you know? They could grow up all their life saying, oh, I never had no one that loved me. But they decide to do things with their life, you know? Yeah. You can't let that bring that down. Or me, like, even though my parents told me they love me, my parents are divorced. I don't have my both parents. And when my parents got divorced, I didn't have my dad around in those crucial moments of when you're turning, I guess, into a man, or those manly moments. He wasn't part of that. And I'm not going to let that define me. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to do something wrong or do something bad and then just quickly be like, oh, I'm this way because I never had my dad in those moments, you know? Yeah. So you just grow and you take that. You learn from what you got from your parents. You, like I said, you bring it in. You apply it. If you don't, then you change it with your daughter. You say you love her. You tell her you love her. And you don't do that because you were told you love it. Because you as a person realize, like, hey, I want my daughter to know this. And same thing with my kids. My kids will always know that I love them. I tell them now when, you know, they're young. My daughter that's a baby, I tell her I love her. She doesn't know what that means yet. Yeah. And she's going to hear that when she's 30. You know, like, I'm always going to tell them that. And it's not necessarily because I was told that I was loved by my parents. Yeah. It's because me as a person realized that, hey, I want my kids to know that.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. That's pretty deep. I mean,
yeah, so
like that.
Don't laugh.
Oh, but can you give me an example on a serious question? Can you give me an example of a what do you call it? I'm a homeless person that made it.
Homeless person that made it?
Because you even said it like, oh man, they become successful, but I want to see an example if you know.
What homeless? What does orphanage have to be real? Did you just call people that don't have parents homeless? You just call them homeless? Dang, bro.
We're about to get canceled this episode.
This guy is like, hey, give me a... You don't have parents that means you're homeless.
You're going to get canceled, dude.
You're going to get canceled, bro.
We probably shouldn't even release this episode.
I know. It's
going
just,
to the vault.
Just fucking put this in the black web or something.
But no, that's pretty... dude, I feel bad because it seriously should have been like a serious topic.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I'll take blame for that, but...
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the point of view.
To reiterate what you said, I mean, they're not... I wouldn't say they're homeless, but... I mean, I don't know top of my head any orphans. Yeah. That made it... but I know there is. Yeah. Which I should probably find one.
Yeah. Probably Google it. Probably see one or two.
But I mean, besides that, you know, take away the orphanage and take away that, like, even decent human beings, you know, they come from that, you know. Yeah. I mean, you said it yourself. You were told that you were loved by your dad, but you're not a piece of shit. Yeah. So.
Let's go. Also, like, do you think with parents, like divorced parents, do you sometimes feel like that's something that do you fear, like having that within your marriage? I don't know if you want to talk about
the what? Sorry, can you
like but like being having divorced parents, do you feel like that's something that you have, like, I guess I have a fear, or something that you feel like, oh, it's gonna like
Like
there's
I'm
a chance that could happen. I guess destined or something.
I mean, I never, thought about it. Never really crosses my mind, coming that my sibling is also divorced from his first marriage.
I didn't even think of that.
And like, I mean, it doesn't cross my mind like, oh, I'm gonna get divorced, because like I said, I think it just comes down to you as a person, right? I think when we think of these things, we just try to find excuses for the actions that we made.
Yeah.
We always try to find someone to blame. You always try to point fingers when something you're doing wrong. Oh, I'm an alcoholic because my dad was an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic because I was abused.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic because I don't have my mom. Like, you always try to find a reason for it. And I understand. I'm not taking away from that. I don't think that, like, you have every right to have pain and suffer. But we shouldn't have that define you as a person.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that, be the reason that you are the way that you are. Now, take for granted that, those things maybe could lead to you as a person. Maybe that could lead you probably, hey, I'm drinking a little more because I'm sad today. Because, I don't have my mom, and it just reminds me, whatever people go through, so I understand that. But I don't think it's a reason for you to blame that. And with my parents being divorced, and, seeing my sibling go through that as well, like, I don't think of myself as, I'm already thinking like, I'm going to get divorced. Because the person I know that I have to put in my work for my marriage, because even like from them, I learned from my parents, I learned from my brother, I learned from the mistakes, and I learned from the good things they've done. Yeah. And I apply it to myself to try to make my marriage work. Yeah. And for whatever reason, if my marriage doesn't work, I'm not going to try to blame it and say, it's because I came from a divorced family. You just try to make it work,
Yeah, that's pretty coll. I mean, and I didn't mean to hopefully like bring it up like out of nowhere, but I'm just, for me, it's just like thinking about, because like for me, I can say like with my parents, they don't show that they're affectionate or say that they love each other, but they're still together, So for me, it's just like, is it just better for them to be divorced, or is it working out?
So what do you think? Do you think it's better for let's just say that you are, like, again, I don't know the thing about your parents, but what about if your parents had problems? Would you be happy that they stayed together and you had them both? Or the fact that you saw them together, but they didn't give you, like, hey, that's what a marriage is. Like, they love each other. They're always fighting. I'm not saying that they do or anything like that, but just saying that, like, if you saw that as would you prefer for them, like, hey, you know what, you guys should just separate because you guys are just fighting all the time? Or you're going to say, hey, at least I had both my parents. I want them to stay together, to set that example.
No, I think I would prefer them to be, like, separated, like divorced, just because, they do argue a lot, and they, not like, physical, but I mean, just like with words and everything. And then for me, it's like, it doesn't seem like they're happy. So I'm like, why are you all together? And so for me personally, I wouldn't want that either. If I know I'm not happy, or I'm like, I'm hating my marriage and stuff like that, why would I, continue with it? But again, like, because that's how they are, I do the opposite, like, I'm not going to like be swearing at my swearing. I'm not going to be swearing at my wife or disrespecting her, and vice versa. She doesn't do that. So I feel like, because of how they are, I'm like, and my wife and I both see it. We're like, well, we're not like that, we're not gonna be yelling out of nowhere or whatever might be the reason. And also because they didn't show me affection, I'm doing the opposite and showing my daughter, being affectionate and telling her I love her. So that's, I guess from that, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm ending that cycle, and knowing also, like, if that comes to like where I'm just arguing with my wife, I might as well just get divorced. It doesn't matter for me. Like, I think also we got to get away from like divorce being a bad thing, like, oh, you didn't make your marriage work, because I feel like people do it for a reason, and we can't be judging for any reason, like, oh, they should have tried harder, or they like I hear too is like, oh, maybe because they getting married at church, it didn't work out and stuff like that. I think we should just, it's whatever makes them happy.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not happy in a marriage, they should have every right to, end it without being criticized. But we were actually talking about this earlier with my wife, not the divorce, like getting divorced part, like, hey, we're getting divorced. But we were having the conversation about, they were just talking about how divorce, and I was just bringing up like divorce should be, I feel like it should be easier in the sense of you shouldn't try to ruin each other's lives because you're getting divorced. You typically have somebody in the party that either cheated or something, and they want to see the worst. They want to take the kids away, or they want to charge their mom this up the ass in child support, or they just want to make their life hell. Yeah. But I wonder if because I know of people that made their divorce work. Mm-hmm. Either because they got cheated on or whatever the reason, but they have a healthy relationship with their ex. Yeah, ex. Yeah. They have that connection where they can still text each other, still hang out with each other, obviously respectable with their other spouses, right? But they can still do family thing events and not have that hatred, where they make things harder for one another.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I mean...
And take for granted. I mean, obviously we don't know how that is because we're not going through divorce, right? Mm-hmm. And if that comes to come, we don't know how we're going to react, right? Whatever the reason may be. But we're just saying, like I said, I've never been through a divorce, so I don't know how I would react or been cheating on. I wouldn't know how I would react. But I'm hoping that I would react like a civil man, Yeah. And just be like, hey, you know what? I know it's going to hurt, fucking suck, like, sting like shit, but hopefully you could eventually, like, get over it and be like, hey, it didn't work out between us. Did you get a divorce? Yeah. Obviously, we had love for one another, so I don't want to ruin you or make your life hell. Yeah. So I just, we should just end it and, try to have a relationship for the kids. Yeah. And I think a lot of fear that, another thing too, I agree with all that too, but I also want to like add on to that is, I feel sometimes, I don't know if I'm just speaking, I guess I would just speak for the men, but like sometimes you don't want to you want to stay in the marriage because you're like, man, if I know if I get divorced with this person or ends in a bad way, I'm losing my car, I'm losing my home, I'm losing, then I have to pay on top of that, like all this child support. And you see it sometimes, I feel like, there's those bad dads or moms, but I feel like sometimes when it's like you just try to take everything, you're ruining that person, when you should be thinking, like, why would I ruin that person's life if they still need to spend time with their kids, Mm-hmm. Like, they still need, like, where are their kids going to be staying at, like, at least have something mutual, like, hey, if we have a home, let's sell it, we live in our own place. But I feel like it's like, why ruin that? Like, why ruin each other's lives that now you don't even have a place to stay, you don't have the money for it because everything's like on like lawyers for child support or whatever it might be. So I think it's just like, I want to tell the parents out there that, or just people out there that are married, is like, kids shouldn't be holding you back. If you're not happy, then you should just, if you're not happy, get divorced.
Yeah. And then who knows from there, I feel like then it comes where like maybe you get separated, divorced, whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to get back, and that's totally up to you. Me personally, I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would be like, oh, I'm separated, divorced, and all of a sudden get back with my spouse, with my ex-spouse, because I feel like did we just do it just to have fun, and now we're getting back together, like experience that single portion, and we have our fun, do our things. I'm like, oh, no, actually I do love you, but I just had my fun and I want to get back, It's a whole into it. And again, yeah, it's our opinion. It's what we say. If y'all,
it's facts. We are professional marriage counselors.
Yeah, we're certified.
Just kidding. No, don't take what we're saying and run away with it. We're just having a conversation.
I just want to say how it is, how I feel, how it is. It's like,
same how it is, bro.
It's my opinion. It is what it is. If y'all don't like that, then so what? Don't listen to me. But no, it's just like I Yeah, dude, it's just, knowing people and just kind of hearing their stories, like, bro, like, just get her over with.
Dude, how cool would it be? I don't know how possible it be, but like bring in divorced couples and just having conversations with them.
So like, like a husband and an ex-husband, ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. Just having a conversation with them and be like, what happened in the marriage?
That'd be good.
Like what decided to end it?
But
it's probably hard, obviously, because who the freak wants to spend time with their ex-partners, right?
Yeah, especially if it ended badly.
Yeah, especially if it ended badly, But I think it would be cool to just hear their point of view, like, hey, it stopped because he stopped caring about me, or I cheated, stuff like that. And then how they try to resolve it, or they even try to resolve it.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool. Just like everything else.
Yeah. And I know it'd be hard, right? Because who wants to say, like, I got cheated on, I cheated, or whatever, But at least kind of somewhat give us close to as much as fresh details as they can.
But I think it's just divorce is just, relationships in general is just very difficult. Yeah. Because even if you get cheated on, some people still don't leave each other. They just try to make it work. Yeah. But I feel like it's also it's like a double-edged sword, though. Yeah. Because yes, you're working on your marriage, but even if you you could like the saying says, you could forgive, but you can't forget. Yeah. So it's like you constantly have that in your marriage. So does that bring extra problems when you're trying to make it work? Yeah. Like, hey, I cheated on you, but I love you. I don't want to make this. I want to make this work. They decide they want to make it work. Like, what? How does that? Do you think it affects the relationship going forward? Do you? Obviously, you're gonna have trust issues, right? Yeah. You're obviously gonna not, trust this person. Does that set up the rest of the marriage to fail? But like I'm saying, like, yeah, like that. Do you think that affects affects the tension? Because if you look recently, we were talking about this earlier, but like the whole Chris Rock thing right now with this special that he made fun of Will Smith and about the slap, but looking at Will Smith and him making it work with his wife, but it's still something that anger that he has, right? Yeah, that he has built up, and that's why he went to go slap Chris Rock.
Well,
right?
That's because I heard like he did it because he felt like a lot of people talk, but it was like he felt like he wasn't man enough because like he let his wife cheat, and then you saw, I don't know. I really didn't see the whole interview between them two. Will and his wife, when they were talking about, it was just a, what do you call it? Intercation or
entanglement,
right? It's kind of in his face, like, yeah, like it was just an
entanglement. Well, if you think about it, Chris Rock makes fun of it. He's throwing jabs at Will Smith for like, who the fuck gets interviewed by their spouse telling them, hey, I cheated on you. Yeah. It's like, first of all, that is true. That's pretty fucked up. No one interviews that, right? Yeah. But also looking at Will Smith's point of view, like, hey, my wife did cheat on me for whatever reason. Yeah. But it's just like you decided to make it work with her. You're still with her. Yeah. So even though you have that anger bottled up, you just can't go take it up on Chris Rock when he's talk shit, But
I think, and the thing for me that I thought it was mostly fucked up was that it was like, and I feel like she announced it. Again, you guys can like get mad at me or whatever, but I feel like she announced it like on her show just to kind of for views and clout and all this, like, oh, like, I don't know. It's just like a hard right. Did she announce it because someone knew about it? And I don't know how the whole situation. Maybe they did. They came out with it like, hey, like she cheated on him, and she wanted to clear up the space. But it's just like I feel like the way she said it with the smile was like, yeah, I did what I did. So what, And again, we're assuming that he didn't do it either. He didn't do like, or even celebrities. They're on like an open marriage, open relationship stuff. It's like, who knows? We could over here be feeling bad about Will, and he was doing it on his side too. But she just had to come clean.
Well, the problem here is that he went up to slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. Yeah, no. So I think that's where the biggest thing lies. It's just like he let all his anger bottled up, and he did that in one of the biggest stages. You know, that's just what extra brings that extra attention to them. You know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to like trust someone. I think it would be hard to trust your spouse. And
well, I mean, even if I think for them it's even harder, right? Because it is publicized.
Yeah,
most of the people know your wife cheated on you, and it's on record. I mean, have said that.
Yeah,
that she didn't even want to be Will Smith. I think she still wants. She misses Tupac.
Yeah,
you know, but and just forget all that. But still, like everyone knows that, you know, and people know about your marriage. You're walking around. People that know, people that you meet, people that you see, know that your wife cheated on you. So it's just like,
yeah, and I think it's like kind of when, yeah, like it's for him just all that embarrassment and in your face, and then someone making fun of it. But come on, for me, it's like, dude, you gotta understand that's a comedian, you know, like.
I mean, the comedian part aspect, like, dude, come on, he's a comedian, you know, he's gonna. Talk shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's publicized, it's out there, so like you should know, like, it's, you know, people are gonna be talking about it, and so you just, you know, gotta own up to it and just let people talk about it. You know, I feel like if you let people talk about it and they notice that it doesn't affect you, then at the end of the day, I feel like it would just run its course, and eventually no one would even be talking about it. You know.
Yeah.
But with him doing that, is oh yeah, like he's not a man, so now he has to stand up and show that he. You know, he's Tupac or something, but no, yeah, it's. I feel like, yeah, we would have to kind of bring someone in and just also, you know, see if we can kind of figure that out too. And that was the case of like some divorced couple, and they say, yeah, it was because I, you know, cheated, or he cheated, or we both cheated, and then it was just not worth it and stuff like that. But yeah. Going back though, I think with everything, it's just sad, you know. It's like, but I like how you led into that though. What good stuff you led into, like the Will Smith and everything.
You like how I did that? I laid it up.
Getting like better at this, bro. You're about to carry the team again, dude. Well, not,
dude, I've been carrying this team, bro. 20 episodes, bro. My back hurts from all these episodes I've been carrying, bro. I think you just had one episode.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, dude, anything else you want to add to? Well, I was gonna say, when we invite people that are divorced, are we gonna tell them that their significant other's gonna?
It's like that. I think you kind of have to, right?
It's like, sit down, you know, get one mic'd up, and all of a sudden,
I don't even think like how. I don't even think that's possible, bro. Who the hell's gonna want to be interviewed? We're like, what are we, fucking therapists?
No, they're like, why the fuck are we gonna talk on shit and just say our fucking lives for your dumb asses?
It's like, who the fuck are you, man? Like, what the hell would I tell you what happened between me and my wife?
I know.
You know? Like, who are you?
We're over there asking, hey, have you been divorced before?
Yeah, it's like I'm asking my brother and his ex-wife to come.
But, you know, I mean, again, I don't know if it leads up to this, but again, not knowing because we haven't been in that situation, and, you know, but I know of people who have been divorced like multiple times. Like at one point,
at that point, you shouldn't even get married anymore.
I know, but
I feel like if I was to get divorced right now, like, I don't want to get remarried. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go through all that stuff. I mean, I have kids. Yeah. That other person most likely might have kids, you know. They've probably most likely gone through some sort of separation. Like, why go through that hassle again of getting married? Like, just have that relationship and don't get married. Like, we both, you know, you got married, you tried it didn't work, move on. Yeah, I think, if you feel me, I feel for me, it's like, man, like, it's not working out. What's that? Would you want to get remarried? I said it before to other people, but I feel like if I was to get divorced, I would make it like, I would tell that person, I'm not gonna get. Yeah, obviously you have when you're dating. Yeah, obviously if you're dating somebody and it's serious, I'm like, hey, I don't have any intentions to get married. But I would also kind of state too, you know, and hopefully I can find someone that would be like the same thing, right? Oh, cool, I don't see that, you know,
whether it be like I was divorced too and I don't want to do that, or someone that's never been in a marriage, you know.
Most likely you're gonna find someone like that. You're kind of old as fuck, so I think it's kind of like.
but what I'm saying though, or maybe I go for someone younger. But no. But what I'm saying though, like it's like I would be cool like if we both agree on something like that, and then later on, you know, it's like, hey, I changed my mind. How do you feel about that? You know, oh, like I still feel the same. Then I think that in that relationship, but also like well, let's say you know.
But why would you want to give? Why would you want to give? Why would it change?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know. You know, like we gotta ask people who've been divorced. Why did it? Maybe they had the same thought, and all of a sudden,
well, no,
they had the same thought at that spot. You know, in that moment.
But, well, I mean, we thoughts at the spot. I see what you did there. No, but even if you go, if it's like, hey, I don't like strawberries. I'm not gonna go in with the mindset that I might like strawberries later on.
No,
I'm gonna get away from the strawberries. You know what I mean?
You gotta be like open minded, because I feel like it's gonna like you can say that and you can both agree on that.
But you know what it is. You know. You come from your marriage. You come from the marriage you had. I'm not saying it's a bad marriage, but obviously it didn't work out. You got divorced for whatever reason. Because
and I feel like, but look, dude, I'm saying, and you know, we're not.
And I honestly, I'm obviously talking out of my ass because I've never been divorced. But it's just those people that got divorced, they got remarried because they fall in love and they want to get remarried. But realistically speaking, right now less people are getting married because of that reason, right? Yeah. We could agree that there's less. The younger generations doesn't want to get married because of everything that they've seen with their parents, with their friends, whatever. Yeah. Same thing for us. We experienced it firsthand with our marriage. It didn't work out. Yeah. You're gonna want to not go through that again.
But look, I feel like it's. I feel this is what I feel, and I'm feeling it. But what I'm saying is like, it can cross, and I'm not saying, oh, it's gonna be the woman, it's gonna be the man, but it can cross each of their mind, right? Like, let's say for some reason, hey, we're not gonna get married, we're not gonna have kids, and all of a sudden they have kids, and then from there, like, man, I have a kid with now, all of a sudden I feel like a family, you know, like, and let's make something official. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I think having a kid,
I think having a kid is a little different though. Like, that could eventually do change because
that's what I'm saying.
But a marriage is different, like, because your relationship doesn't. I mean, like I said, I'm talking shit. We're taking this out of my ass. But I feel like marriage doesn't change your relationship. It doesn't change. Being married doesn't make your relationship any better, and not being married doesn't make it any better. It's the same thing.
But the thing about it, I mean, it's like we talk about it doesn't. I mean, I feel like marriage does change your relationship.
But why would it change your relationship? What it has no meaning to anything besides a piece of paper. Some would say, right?
No, But I feel like this is, and I see. I mean, I think,
and it comes down to more stuff, right? We're talking about the simplicity of marriage. I know when having marriage, you like, if you were to pass away, then it goes to your, property, goods, whatever. When you're married, you're supposed to be married. That way, if something happens to you, it's distributed to you because you're the married. And I understand that, but I'm just saying, in that sense, it's just like, if you both came from a ended marriage, however your marriage ended, why would you want to get remarried again? Yeah. That's just why would you? Because you understand, like, you don't need to be married to love somebody. Yeah. I mean, like, going back, you're just doing it for the legal stuff, but it doesn't change your relationship. I don't think it makes it any better. If anything, it makes your relationship more stressed, man. I feel like people will that are newly wed. I feel like there's more strain in the relationship because it's like, oh, I'm married to this guy forever. I can never leave this guy.
And I think that's what happens, right? Like, for example, person that I know of, right, who's been married multiple times, you know, I feel like that person is like, well, and that person also has, I think that person has, a parent that's been married even multiple times. I think like 3 or 4 times.
Do you have you asked this person, like, the thought process behind it?
No, I mean, for me, it was like, I really doesn't matter to me.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you
when
get
I'm like-
married multiple times. I just think just to like find the side of their head, like, oh, what makes you decide that you want to? I'm not saying it's right or wrong either. If you get married 20, 30 times, go right ahead. It's your life. Doesn't really matter to me.
But
no one's gonna judge. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you for it, but I'm just saying, like, what is a thought process behind that? What are you getting out of that? Like going through that, and I'm thinking,
but
also the money wise.
Yeah, and I think for me, like, it's I feel like if I asked that person, I'd be like, you like knowing that that person cheated on their spouse, and it's like, and I'm like, if that was your second marriage,
Right, so that person that's remarried
and then
cheated on their spouse.
Yes, and then the person that they got married now was the one that they cheated on with their last spouse.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my process is like, wouldn't your current spouse feel the same way? Like, you're gonna cheat on me because you cheated on your last spouse? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
I mean,
it's just,
it goes into deeper. It goes into deeper.
It's like so now for me, it's like it's already a red flag. So eventually, it's gonna lead to another divorce. Like,
yeah. So why would the guy why would that person that cheated go through the marriage?
I don't know.
It's like, hey, like, honey or baby, like, I cheated on my wife with you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, why would I get married with you? You know, like, we could just be together. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But either way, that girl should also feel the same. Like, okay, why am I getting married to this guy? This guy cheated on his wife for me.
Yeah.
It's just I know what you mean.
Deep, and I feel like we need to. I think it would be a good thing to like ask
the side piece. How does it feel to be a side piece? Yeah. Do you know? Does it feel?
No.
Do you ever think you'll be the main?
And
if you are the main, how does that feel?
I feel like that there's gonna be a side piece. You know?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like there's gonna be a side piece?
Is this so much into it?
Put it out in the comments. Put that on one of the TikTok videos and be like, hey, if you're a side piece and ever become the main piece, do you ever think that they're gonna have a side piece?
Well, you just said right there, so I'll put that on there.
Like,
because it's
what's the thought process behind that?
I don't know. Anyone that's divorced, and and hopefully you guys don't put your bad juju on us, but
if you're divorced,
I say, look, this is
tell me why you're divorced. DM this guy, and we'll try to resolve your marriage.
I think okay. I think the only way we'll know is if we go through it. Let's go through it.
It's like, hey, this is an experiment. We're gonna just get divorced and just go through that process. Go through court.
Do my thing. You stay here.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, but not talking. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm just saying, I would not get remarried. That's my final say. And just like how I hate strawberries, I'm not gonna change my mind by trying strawberries again. I don't like strawberries, and I'm not gonna want to get remarried, especially if my marriage doesn't, you know. If it doesn't work out, and to get, cheesy, bro, that's your soulmate, bro.
Yeah.
You only get one soulmate in life, man.
False.
You don't think there's only one soulmate?
I don't. Maybe because you can be like,
you can love a lot of people.
No, but look, you can be like, this is my soulmate, but what if that person's not your soulmate, and the next one is?
But how do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
The only way we know is if. This is
how do you know? There's no way to know. You don't know. You only know when you just
they
feel
say it back to you.
No, I don't think they have to say it back to you. I think you just have a thing in you.
But
for us men, it's probably like you get a little thing in your penis. It's just you just know.
That's STD or something.
That's STD.
No, but you know what I'm saying? We can go, bro. This can go in deeper and deeper. But I feel
going deep.
No.
Deep.
No, first of all,
8 inches deep with this shit, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, I got 4. That's all I can offer. Take it or leave it. No, but
it's average.
People out there like
4 is big enough.
Those short kings with those like
you short kings.
But no, I feel like we can go in deeper and deeper and deeper.
I think there's gonna have to be a part 2, bro.
Yeah, it would have to be a part 2.
I think there's gonna have to be a part 2, like, because you're going into the detail of soulmates, mm-hmm. And obviously, if you don't think there's that one soulmate, then that's probably why you're getting married multiple times, or why you think it's right.
No, but I think by then you just don't even care. You just like to do your thing. Look, I feel like there's gonna be a part 2. Because one, I want to talk about soulmate the next one, I want to talk about the cycle that will never. I feel that will never end because it's going to continue. People don't really just admit to their mistakes or who they are, and that's what they continue, right? Like that person that I know, and I have to say person because I don't want to say if it's boy or girl, but the person that I know, right? It's like, what if, and they haven't caught it on, but what if it's that excitement that they know they're married and they cheat, and all of a sudden, then it's like, kind of like, oh, I don't like this spouse anymore. I'm gonna go with this new person.
But then you think that person has to like just take a step back and be like, okay, why am I getting married? I could have girlfriends and cheat on them, or have boyfriends and cheat on them. Yeah. So it's just like, why get married?
Yeah, and I think for me the red flag with that person is when, I was invited, like, my wife and I were invited to go hang out. With them, I feel like it was more. I realized that that friend had all of their friends partying, and the spouse was the only one that was there, And I'm just like, well, is it because he doesn't trust her? I feel like there's so much, right? It's just like you don't trust them, and I
bring those people in, and bring them from interview. Tell them we're gonna have a podcast, and they're gonna talk about them.
And then I'll just blur their face, but I don't blur it.
Yeah,
it's like I blur it like at the end.
Bring them in, and we're gonna fucking ram this person. We're gonna ram them with a bunch of questions.
I think because they get rammed is the reason why.
They get rammed physically. We're gonna ram them mentally.
Damn, that's the quote.
That's the quote of the day, bro.
Right there. They get rammed physically, but I'm gonna ram them mentally.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna fucking ask them all these questions. Like, what the fuck? What's the thought process behind that? Walk me through this. I'm gonna get married, cheat on them, get married again, and do the fucking cycle.
And you're trying to talk, and all of a sudden that person's trying to like get all up on you, like whoa.
That's like, what's going on? What's? But I think that's interesting. That's a very interesting.
It's a girl, so it doesn't seem.
Oh, it's a girl.
I mean, either way.
I mean,
but
but okay, but that's kind of weird though, because typically women don't like to cheat. Aren't known for that. They want to have some sort of mental connection.
That's okay. We're gonna stop right there because this podcast is gonna go forever because of 20 minutes of mistakes that I had. We're gonna bring this up part 2.
This is gonna be part 2.
We're talking about it tomorrow, but part 2 is gonna be about part 2. Soulmates.
Soulmates.
What did you say just now? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
Don't put me on the spot like that, man. I don't know.
Soulmates. They just connected. Soulmates.
It's soulmates. And the girl saying that she cheated. That usually girls don't cheat or usually don't have it.
And I heard that because I want to talk about when guys cheat and girls cheat and the reason behind that, right?
Yeah.
Because we had a conversation and it's just always like girls cheat because of this, guys cheat because of that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that next episode, and then anything else that we can.
And orphans.
About. And
I said orphans.
We're gonna leave out of here. So homeless too.
It's just a word. I figured out what the problem was. It was just a word. I think the word is fucked up.
It's just the way it like leaves your tongue, orf, and you're like.
And I think that's what it is, and I think it's because we had that dark humor thing. Yeah. But I think that's.
But no, I think we'll discuss that because I think it's going in deeper, and then hopefully we
orphans?
can have. No, not about orphans.
Oh, I was like, how would that? What does that mean?
Divorce.
Anything?
But let us know what y'all think about the topic. What we talked about today.
Yeah, let us know. And don't come at us. Like I said, we're just talking shit, talking out of our ass. And we don't mean no disrespect to those people that got married multiple times. And
then just let us also know too, like
if we're spitting facts.
Yeah,
especially
and
me.
Don't hate. We're about to go viral.
Oh, yeah, go hate on us. I'm ready to talk shit right now. Go hate on my TikTok page.
Just all right, everyone. This is episode 20. This is the part 1.
Part 1 of talking out our ass. You should label that.
And this is gonna go raw and unnatural. Unnatural.
Unnatural.
This is gonna be raw and in your face.
Yep.
But not too raw where it like leaves like a rash burn or something.
Nah.
So
we're gonna cause some pain.
So again, your boy C Joe here.
And I'm not going to say my name no more just because I've been talking so much shit. I don't want people to come after me. Dude, don't say my name, bro. Nah, but it's your boy CeeLo's. We'll catch you on episode 21.
Yeah.
What's 9 plus 10? 21. Cut it, dude.
21. Can you do it? Is that how it goes? Anyways.
21. No, we can't say that, brother. Drake's going to sue us.
Okay. Drizzy, we love you.
Drizzy Drake. I think it's going too long.
All right.
I think you should just edit this.
Okay.
Just edit it now. I'm going to keep talking until you cut it so you can keep editing it.